So you're brand new to Diablo Immortal, maybe even you're brand new to all Diablo games, and you're wondering what class is the best class to start with so that you could see the most success. Today, Nemo and I are here to tell you exactly what class you need to play. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today I'm here with my good friend Nemo from the Scrappy Academy YouTube channel. And of course, we're going to be answering your question because this question comes in my chat all the time, asking what class should you be when you start? And not only that, what information do I need to know as a beginning player? Nemo, do you get this in your chats as well, in your comment sections?
All the time. That's one of the hottest actually questions. So I'm pretty excited to tackle this one. Let's get going.
I am too. And just so everyone knows, this is the first video of a series that Nemo and I are bringing you both on his channel and on my channel for beginners, new players that have never touched ground inside of Diablo Immortal, that never played the game. If you need to know where to be from the beginning, from when you first download Diablo Immortal, this series is one that you're going to want to watch every video from so you know what you're doing. But we're here to talk about the best class in Diablo Immortal for brand new players. And let's actually start this out, Nemo, by talking about the two classes that are probably the worst for new players. They are not forgiving at all, and they are really the most difficult to play. Nemo, why don't you go ahead and tell us what type of characters we're talking about here, and then we'll get into which ones they actually are.
Sure. The worst beginner class is probably one of my favorite classes. I'll start with that one, and of course the Wizard. The Wizard is the squishiest class. It's the most difficult to level because most of the time when you are leveling that class, you're gonna get killed a lot. It's almost like a little paperweight, you know, you really can't get hit at all. Most of the time you have to run around. You have to make sure that you kind of pull your enemies and stay away from them. And it's difficult to do that as a new player. There's a lot of things to do. There's buttons, there's things. And while you're looking at all of that, you have to remember that as soon as you get hit, you're gonna melt like a candle. So I would say that the Wizard is probably the most unforgiving class, and therefore I'd say it's not very beginner friendly.
Yeah, I completely agree. Not to say that these aren't great classes, because I don't want to mix this up for you guys. Every class in Diablo Immortal is fantastic, balanced, and works really well. But there's definitely one that stands up, maybe two that are two of the best, but we're focusing on that one here today. So Nemo mentioned a ranged class, the Wizard, which is, you know, shoot back and fire. Another one that I'm going to pair with the Wizard, maybe a little bit better, but still very squishy, still very ranged. I'm talking about, Nemo, the Demon Hunter, another class like the Wizard. Although you have more evasion techniques and you could do some attacks through the air, the Demon Hunter is one that doesn't have a lot of health. It doesn't have as much damage as some of the other classes, and if you make mistakes, you're going to be punished for making those mistakes with, at the end of the day, your death. Eternal doom. That's what's going to go down when you're playing a squishy character that takes a little bit more skill. There's less room for error, and that means more deaths. All right, Nemo, so we identified the two worst classes. Now, there's another two classes that are not the worst, but they're also not the best. Let's talk about those two right now. Which one do you want to take?
Well, I'll take another class that I'm absolutely in love with. Of course, that's the Necromancer. I played with him with her last test, and the Necro is a great class, but again, it requires some skill. It's more of a hybrid class. It's not a melee class, but it's not a fully ranged class either. You could be kind of both. What's great about the Necromancer is it has a bunch of pets or summons that you can kind of put in between you and the enemies. Therefore, it's better than the Wizard in a sense because there's a lot of other things that you know the enemies have to get through before they get to you. But at the same time, you still have to move around. You still have to make sure that you don't stand still, and you do have health, but you're not as strong as some of the top classes we'll be talking about later. Therefore, I'm going to put the Necro right there in the middle.
Yeah, and I would completely agree. And also, I really enjoyed playing the Necro. Really great class, but as you mentioned, probably not the most beginner friendly, along with another class which I really loved, which was the Monk. The Monk is the most, in my opinion, the most mobile character, bouncing off walls, really a lot of fun to play. But the Monk doesn't have the most health, and the Monk doesn't do the most damage. So it's sitting right there in the middle. It's one of the classes that I'm thinking for myself that I really want to play again because it's so fun. But if you're a new player, I could see yourself getting into situations where the Monk is just not going to be ideal, where you're going to have that learning curve to get through and it's going to kind of slow you down in the early stages of the game. So for that reason, the Monk with the Necromancer in the middle of the pack, not going to be your first choice. All right, Nemo, so now we're up to 2 classes. There are 2 classes left. We have the Crusader and we have the Barbarian, and I'll be honest, both of them are very good and both of them would probably do well for new players, but in my opinion, and I believe in Nemo's opinion as well, there is one that's slightly better. So Nemo, talk to me about the Crusader. How do you think the Crusader is, and is it our number 1?
The Crusader is a great class. There's a lot of power, you have a lot of health, you can stand your ground a lot of the times. You can stand your ground, but you still have to move around a little bit, right? You have to make sure that you, like, there's a few, when you get on the horse, right? When you're running around, you have to kind of like charge and slash and keep doing that. It's not, so because of that, I'm gonna say that it's not the best. The best one, of course, is the Barbarian. I'll let you start with him because it's your favorite class. But the Crusader lacks some of the skills that the Barbarian has, and the biggest thing the Crusader doesn't have is he can't really fully stand its ground like the Barb can.
Yeah, and what Nemo means by that is you could literally be the Barbarian, stand right in front of your enemy, and just spam attack. You could absorb the damage, you'll live through it, your teammates behind you will be able to throw that DPS, and you'll be protecting them. Essentially, you're being that meat shield, the Barbarian, and you could just take so much damage. And honestly, it's the easiest class to play. You need to be able to spam buttons and really just continuously attack and attack. Now, maybe this isn't your gameplay style. Maybe you don't want to play like that, and that's fine. But the point of this video is to tell you which class you could see the most success with early on if you're someone new into this, or if you just want to just dive in with the class that's the most versatile. And Nemo, we didn't even talk about that yet. Why is the Barbarian the most versatile? Talk to me about PvP. Talk to me about being able to team up with other players in other classes. Why is the Barbarian the best at this?
So the Barbarian has the most, I would say the most range, but one of the biggest things the Barb has is one of the skills. I believe it's called the Undying Rage. It literally brings you back from death. So right as you die, you come back, and when you come back, you have like twice more damage. You can go faster. Also, the Barbarian actually has the best group buff, in my opinion. It speeds up speed for everybody. Like, it gives you 15% more speed to the entire group when you pop it. I think that's probably the best one, next to the Monk, maybe. That's probably the best one in my opinion.
The monk has something similar as well, but you know, you're right. And the Undying Rage, I completely forgot about that. That's a huge element that we didn't even talk about earlier. But I feel like your friends, it doesn't matter what class they are. They could team up with you if you're a Barbarian, and you can go slay anywhere. In any game mode, you can go, you know, slash through dungeons, dominate in the Helliquary, kill the campaign, even do well in PvP, because the Barbarian matches well with every single other class. Now, if I'm playing as a wizard, you can't go wizard and demon hunter together and say, all right, we got this. You know, you're gonna struggle a bit more, especially if you're a new player. Now, if you're a max level, high level player, you've been playing for a long time, then it's a different story. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, and in Nemo's opinion, the best choice for you is going to be the Barbarian if you're someone that's new to the game, that maybe doesn't have much skill and has a lot to learn, or someone that just likes to be a beast and spam attack like crazy, like myself. I am not a new player. I have hundreds of hours into Diablo Immortal, and I am still going to choose the Barbarian when I start out, because I do think it's the best, most versatile class. Now, Nemo, I appreciate you coming down to share this wisdom with the audience here today. And I know that you and I were teaming up on a video similar, another beginner's guide over on your channel. Tell everyone about your channel.
I'm pretty pumped, actually. We're about to go and record that video right now, so you all should come over and check it out. My channel is called Scrappy Academy, and I do all Diablo Immortal and dedicated to that. That's all we do all the time, the news, the guides, and etc. And of course, I hang out right here with my best friend Echo and the entire Echo fam. I appreciate you having me on here, Echo. Can't wait to be on there again for the next one.
Always. And like I said, guys, we have a full series coming for beginner players. It's not just going to be about classes. It's going to be about everything you need to know when you first step foot onto that shore in Diablo Immortal. I can't wait to see you guys in all of the videos. And if you want to get an early step here, if you want to get in ahead of the game, literally before the game even comes out, come join the Scrappy Echoes Discord server. I'll be linking it below. And if I forget to, Nemo, please remind me, because I seem to always forget to actually link it in the description of the video. But if I remember, it's going to be sitting down there. You guys could join it up. This is the early entrance to our clan family. It's the way that you could team up with Nemo and I today. right now. There's no pushing anyone aside right now. You are all welcome. We are a family. That's what we do here. But Nemo, the video is complete. Episode 1 of Beginner Guide in the books. Thank you guys for sticking around until the end of the video. If you made it this far, hashtag made it down below in the comments section, along with hashtag more Diablo Immortal. Let's get that going again. Remember to subscribe and check out Nemo's channel. If you're into it, sub over there. Have a great day and be good.